Hey, it's Rick here with this week's edition of Rick's Rants here on Good Friday leading up to Easter Sunday. We've had a busy day and a busy week this week. If you recall from last week, I told you that we needed to go to Zanesville, Ohio, south of here, southern Ohio. Did school programs there, a little shorter distance than my trip to the Pittsburgh area, but nonetheless still ended up being about a 16-hour day by the time I got done. Very tiring, so I spent Tuesday recuperating from that. Wednesday and Thursday I was off doing promotion for an upcoming two-wall event next weekend. Today we had a funeral at our church for one of our church members, longtime member, older member, great guy, funny guy. Had lots of good laughs, lots of good times with him. Sorry to see him go. Third funeral in 2 weeks' time of lost church members. So, but hey, they're in a better place. Well, this week's on Rick's Rants, I thought I'd do something a little bit different. Sharon was at a dinner this morning for our church. We just got back from the Good Friday community service, awesome service, held at our Presbyterian church here in town. She had a conversation, just an impromptu conversation, reminiscing a little bit about some of our early days, how we met, and all of that. Thought you might find it kind of interesting just to eavesdrop into what she had to say. I thought it was kind of humorous in some spots and insightful in other spots. So I'm going to turn the rest of the video over to my lovely bride, Sharon, and she's going to take it from there. Have an awesome Easter Sunday, and we'll see everybody next week. Bye-bye, everybody.
In 71, I started in 72 because it started in April and I couldn't get into the spring quarter because of graduating and still in school. And then I graduated from nursing school in 73, so I've been a nurse since 73.
Wow.
And then I worked in Columbus for about 3 years.
35 years you've been a nurse?
Yes, 35 years. And then I met him in the fall of 73 and we got married in 74.
And life has never been the same.
It got real interesting because he did kind of like show business stuff, you know. He did all kinds of programs and I started working with him before we even got married, I think.
Oh my goodness.
In fact, our first date was running all over Columbus trying to find pictures of him. I knew right then he was egotistical.
I thought you were looking for the rabbit he needed in his magician's hat.
And
the right size rabbit, the right color.
At one point we did full evening magic shows that we would go in and promote ourselves for civic organizations. Then we go have a tour and we go back, we have spring and fall, and we go back and do that. But one of the first things I helped him with, he used to way back when, he used to do in theaters, he used to do spook shows.
Oh my word.
Like the old-fashioned spook shows when we were a kid, they'd have them at the theater, you know.
Oh my goodness.
And he used to do spook shows, and one of the first things, that was our first fight. I'm scared to death in the dark. You know, I get very disoriented, and he dressed me up as a gorilla. He says, now when the lights go out, you come out on stage. It was a little narrow stage. The lights went out, I panicked, I froze, I couldn't see nothing, and I couldn't move. And that was the signal for the person on the other side to come out, so they didn't come out either, so I spoiled the show. That was the first time I experienced any kind of a temper with him.
A speechless gorilla would come on our hands.
There was no gorilla to be seen, so... And then, but we got over that.
And it was the jungle after that for a few minutes. The gorilla did fine for me.
But I got used to helping him, and we didn't do too many of those because they were fun, but they didn't make money much.
Oh, okay.
But I even played Frankenstein.
Oh my land, Sharon.
Yeah. We got into doing clowning, and we used to do clowning. We used to go into festivals, And one of the fun things I remember is that we used to do shopping malls and festivals, and we did the arts festival in Columbus down on the courthouse green. And I was a white-faced clown, he was a hobo, and we made little balloon animals and sold them. And but we did that, and then he'd do magic shows and stuff. But things that we have done. But he's progressed now. He does, you know, the motivational programs for corporations to help them get, you know, in tune, their employees, and does educational programs for schools. And I got to go to work because the people are here.
Is he working on his care center shows? Because when I'm there, I may want a show. I want fun things.
And he does some of those. He does Holgate is coming up. I think is coming up. They book him a couple times a year.
Is that a care center?
Yeah. Holgate, and he's done things. Well, when I worked at St. Catherine's, he did quite a bit there. He did a couple things. He's done some things for Good Shepherd Home. There's a nursing home that has him repeated up in Toledo.
Good.
And he loves the care centers now.
Good.
Since he's gotten older himself, he likes them. And they love him. He just brightens their day.
Yay! Just our little Mr. Sunshine over here.
Yeah, and he even does daycare centers too.
Oh my land!
So from 1 year to 100, he likes to be around people. I gotta go.